Happy holidays and Merry Christmas. You're watching Drakewing Gaming. Oh, one moment. And enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drakewing Gaming. Some of you on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Wayfinder. So yeah, before we jump into it, just wanted to let y'all know that our Patreon is now up for as little as $5. Y'all can help support the channel, get some awesome rewards like permanent access to our community Discord server and full access to upcoming not safe for work videos. Anyway, y'all, let's go ahead and jump right back in. Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. Alright. I look up at her and sigh. Can I get a few minutes alone first, Mom? She nods and walks down the path, heading back to the winding trail. I don't feel her nearby, so I turn back toward my dad's grave. Hey, Dad, it's me. I hear nothing, of course. Just a Sithrism. Just the what? I've never heard that word before. Holy shit. Just a Sithrism with the greenery all around me. I feel my heart racing again. My breathing starts to shallow. Breathe in, slow. Hold it. Good. Breathe out, slower. Dad, have you ever had to do something scary, like so scary and unprecedented for anyone's age, let alone someone young? I sit there, my heart swelling. I wonder how you made it through, if you did. I lower my gaze to the ground. My breathing is shallowing again. Sitting down, I wrap my knees up against my chest. Dad, I've been so stuck in the past and the things I've been through. I'm almost too scared to move on to this new part of my life. Breathe in. Slow. Picking a major, dating guys, meeting these wolf giants. Breathe out. Slower. All of it is just... Breathe in, but it hitches. Breathe out, try again. Breathe in, nice and deep, but it hitches again. I feel the tears welling up now and dip my head into my knees against my arms. Dad, I'm so sorry. The reason you... I don't want to say it. I wish I could forget it, but... I killed you. I can't move past it. I can't forget it. I can never forget it. I sit for a moment, feeling the late autumn wind at my back. I think about what I've done, what I've been through, what I've avoided because of my own hesitancy to move on. Dad, do you think... Is it okay for me to move on? Am I allowed to try and be happy now? Do you think I can let myself find some happiness? Breathe in. Hitch. The air around me is filled with more grief and sorrow, as though all of the past mourners are a tidal wave gathering and washing over me to swallow me up. My shallow breathing is set to overtake me. I touch my father's gravestone to anchor myself. Maybe I'll just hold myself back for another year, knowing that I'm the one hesitating to let myself be happy, but still too scared to do anything about it. Breathe in. Breathe out. Try again. There you go. Then I feel a warmth at my back, like the apricity from above cascading over me, holding me in its embrace. I smile. I breathe in long and deep. Then I laugh. And I cry. Maybe it's only now after I'm forced into something new that I can finally move on. I wonder, will I find ahead if I go with these wolves to their world? I wait a moment, wondering what he'd say to me. There's no way of knowing, I suppose. Goodbye, Dad. I love you, and I miss you. I hope that next time I can bring someone I love and who loves me here with us. I rise, touching the gravestone one more time, and travel back down the path through the trail where I give my mom another hug. She doesn't ask any questions, and after a few moments we pull apart and get ready to leave together. Looking up to the sky, I see the blanket of clouds covering the world. The air around me gets a little warmer, and I feel safe. It's late afternoon by the time I make it off the train back in the city. I don't get off at my stop, but decide to walk home from the stop before it's so that I can wander a bit. I need to get my mind off of everything for a while, and I'm supposed to contact the wolves and make my decision. I'll be going with them, and if so, with whom I'll be going. I feel the pit of my stomach lurch. My anxiety is building. It isn't an easy decision. And I put it off for longer than I intended, but it's almost too much to handle today of all days. I should have decided sooner. I did this to myself, really. After wandering around for about 10 minutes, I cut through an alley that bisects a city block. I need to make a decision right now, because they told me we'd just be putting in more legwork to meet the elders if we can't go now. I actually consider doing this, but it's just gonna lead me to flaking on them time and time and again. Then what would happen? I'd have 3 sad, maybe angry wolf giants to contend with, and more than that, my life will probably just go on. Mundane and ever boring. Anxiety swells up as I think back to my talk with my father's grave. I shake the thought off. I'm making such a mess of this whole thing. The sun is beginning to set. If I don't go tonight, I'll just wake up again in the morning and there'll be another chance then. If I do that, though, I have class the day after tomorrow. The wolves told me they don't want to interrupt my life. They might not even let me go. I decide to just wander wherever my feet take me. I try to turn my mind off, but I can't help but think about them. About last night. We all ended up drinking together for over an hour after my wolves made up. They stayed together after I left for the night when I remembered I needed to get up early. I learned quite a bit about each of them last night, both while we were all drinking together and on the little date I had beforehand. Arkyn's family forsook their lineage to be happy. Despite the shunning and constant harassment from higher-class wolf giants, they still managed to become a pillar of support and hope for their village. Gerald spent much of his life locked away from everything but his parents. He blames the Haiti wolves for the state of the wolf villages, driving him to want to make change. Bjorn's family has been in control of the position of the great chief for 2 generations. He must reverse the hoarding of wealth and help the other villages as much as he can. As I wander, my mind drifts from one wolf giant to the next, and I find my anxiety waning as I think about him. The one I know my feet are bringing my body to. The one I will go to, the one I'll go to the other world with. Arkyn. I can't help but think about Arkyn again. He makes me feel safe, and I know I can open up to him if I just give myself a little push. I don't know how or when, but somewhere along my walk I knew I was heading for him. He's the person I want to be with right now. I wonder for a second if I'm just walking randomly and hoping for the best. Maybe I'm just hoping my finder abilities are working some magic. I decided to trust myself and turn off my resistance to it. Somehow I just feel like I know where I'm going, so I decide not to interfere or change course. For all I know, Arkyn told me his address and just stored it subconsciously. I know this is untrue, but it keeps my mind off of my new apparent wolf tracker ability, so I just accept it. After a bit of a walk, I notice the sun's starting to set. It's pretty late now, being early fall, so I figure I should find Arkyn as soon as possible. I'm in a district near the one I live in. I come upon a series of row homes. One of the houses in the middle of the street is practically pleading for me to come knock on its door, so I approach carefully. I walk up to the dark blue door and knock. Is this the right home? Arkyn even want to see me? Why am I so anxious right now? I feel my emotions welling up, fit to burst as the tears begin to fall from my eyes. The door swings open. I look into his jade eyes and he stares back in surprise. A tear drops from my eye. A whimper cries out from my mouth, and then a wolf giant is pulling me into a tight hug. Fynn? This cold preserved me. Are you alright? I can't say a word, despite trying. I just cling to him and cry. Let's get you inside. Come on, Fynn. I pull it alongside Arkyn as he brings me into his home and closes the door. Arkyn and I stop in front of his love seat, and he holds my arms as we lower ourselves down to sit. He pulls me in close and wraps his warm arms around me. There, Fynn. It's alright now, I'm here. You can tell me what's going on, or if you need, I could just be here and hold you like this. I nod into his chest as I take a moment to collect myself. My arms are around his waist as he holds me tight. I take a deep breath to steady myself. I get a whiff of him, the scent of a meadow alongside the natural musk I've thought about since we met graces my nostrils. I let the scent overtake me and use it to relax myself. After a moment, I exhale. I finally feel like I can break myself to speak. Tired dragon. I'm sorry, am I being a bother? You don't need to be dealing with me right now. He laughs heartily, and I feel him run his fingers through my hair. It feels really nice. Oh, stop it, Fynn. Honestly, I was getting pretty lonely, and I would love your company. He pulls me away a bit and looks at me in the eyes. So, want to tell me what's gnawing at your ear? What's on your mind, Fynn? I sigh and take another breath, and start. Today was my father's birthday. Arkyn smiles at first, and I see the realization dawn on him as he considers the context. He pulls me close again, and I feel his warm breath on my neck, and he holds my head against his chest. After a few moments, we pull apart, and I continue. About 8 years ago, my father and I were driving up the mountains for a weekend camping trip. I had my learner's permit, so I insisted that he let me practice driving for at least a few hours. I dropped my water bottle with my feet after I tried to put it in our cup holders under the radio, and it fell off. I told my dad I was going to pull over to grab it, but he told me he'd get the bottle and unclashed his seatbelt to reach over and grab it. He picked it back up and put it in the cup holder between us where it couldn't fall through the bottom. We returned to just driving in silence. Arkyn is listening to what I'm telling him with a bit of an anxious look on his face. I continued recounting the rest of the tale. It was about 10 minutes passed and we were driving around a mountain on the road right by a ravine. Some debris fell down in front of us and I swerved off the road. We crashed into a tree. I was mostly unhurt, but my dad, he never put his seatbelt back on, and I don't have it in me to continue, but I don't need to. Arkyn is already hugging me and patting my back as I cry. He whispers into my ears, he strokes my hair. I'm here, Fynn. You're safe. I hold his shirt while I'm crying into his chest. His arms are around me now, and I know he's right. Arkyn, I've been so afraid of living my life. For so long now, I felt like I didn't deserve to be the one to survive that accident. And it's taken me almost 8 years to finally try to do something for my own future. For my own happiness. Fynn, I'm sorry you had to go through such a horrible thing. Oh god, one second now. Hair in my eye. There we go. Nobody should ever have to experience something like that. I know that days like this can bring about the pain you felt back then, but you don't have to handle those days alone. Not anymore. He's cradling me against him now, and it's warm. I nod. I wanted to believe that when I heard it from my mom and friends and family. I think now, after meeting the three of you, I'm starting to. I pull away and look him in the eyes. Arkyn, I'm ready. Let's sleep together. His ears perk up and he looks at me in surprise. Fynn, we shouldn't do that. I laugh and punch his arm lightly. Not that, you perv. I mean, I'm all ready to go to your world. I'm ready to take those first steps towards doing something. He looks at me, his expression softening and his eyes studying me. Second now. Something that can help people and make me feel justified for having survived. Arkyn grimaces and lifts me up suddenly, carrying me into his bedroom. Arkyn lays me down on his bed. I instinctively kick my shoes off. He smiles warmly. Stay right there, I'm gonna get the light. As he does, I pull my ankle socks off as well, balling them up and dropping him on the floor next to the bed. Arkyn stands and moves towards the light, shutting it off. The room gets pretty dark instantly, and the only thing I can make out is his faint silhouette. Those lustrous green eyes. I can't exactly make out what he's doing. As I start to sit up, I feel the bed shift, and his warmth hovers over me as I push back down. If the lights were on, he'd see me blushing hard, although given he's a wolf giant, I assume he probably can. Arkyn crawls atop me, holding my hands down next to my head. His green eyes shine in the little moonlight his curtains allow into the room. I feel his gaze locked on mine. I can't help but further blush after realizing of our proximity as his breath warms my neck. He leans in and whispers gently into my ear. I like the way you smell, Fynn. You used something different when bathing, didn't you? I blush and nod. And return the sentiment. Yes, and you smell good too. He smiles and leans back into whisper again. Fynn, you're more than worthy to have survived. Your father dying was a tragedy, not a punishment. I gasp sharply as I feel hot tears welling up and spilling over suddenly. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Before I go, I'm going to give a quick shout out to our lovely bronze tier patrons. Thank y'all for all you do for the channel. We greatly appreciate your support. Thank you to our silver tier patron, Cade Silvermoon. Thank you for going a bit above and beyond. It's greatly appreciated. And thank you to our gold tier patron, Amr. You're awesome. We love you. Thank you for subbing to Ultimate Tier anyway. If y'all want to get your names in the credits, get access to our not safe for work content as little as $5. Alrighty, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye.